Can y'all hear me? Nod your head. Okay.
Raquel, I can't hear you. Let me mute myself. Okay, now can you hear me? Okay, I pushed record and we're go ahead and get started. If you have to hop off, that's okay. I'll post a recording in the Team VIP page. I am super excited to have Bonnie lead the call. She's only been a coach for like what, Bonnie, 4 months? Yeah, 4 months, which is awesome, and she's been a rockstar coach. I'm super excited about this call because the thing. And so I think it's just good that we are aware of what's happening because as most of us, I built my entire business off of Facebook. And so knowing, some of the rules that are changing and what can get you on Facebook jail and all that is going to be super helpful for all of us to know. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Bonnie. I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody, maybe. And then I will turn it over to Bonnie. Okay, go ahead, Bonnie.
Okay, I'm just going to jump right into it because it might be kind of long because it's a lot of information. So sorry for lack of intro. Can you... Sorry.
You good?
There we go. Okay, you can all see this nod? Yeah, okay. This is surviving the Facebook algorithm change. And Facebook basically is trying to play this off as being more connected with your friends and family, but really they just want to make some money. But we're going to cheat the system and still succeed with our Beachbody business. So rule number 1 is to be authentic, and it means that Facebook is actually trying to flag clickbait, fluff, and ads, and our personal posts are actually more powerful than before, even though it doesn't seem that way right now, and they're supposed to be going up in affinity by default, just purely by the fact that they're trying to get rid of all of the ads. They are afraid of becoming an impersonal RSS feed of news, like all of the political things that are going on right now and all of the fake news sites that people are just sharing and people are getting tired of. They don't want us to be doing that. And basically all of our companies, there's so many of us out there, and they want more people to be able to see what's going on with their friends and family. And if somebody considers your post share-worthy and somebody decides to share your post, you will surface to the top of their news feeds because they find you worthy of providing entertainment and informative content. So, as a bonus pertaining to entertainment, the longer somebody stays on your post or your link, the more you go up in the Facebook affinity world. So you want them to see the real you, and you want to post something that will entertain them. So over here, I have my first attempt at pancakes ever. So I'm showing them, yes, I'm a Beachbody coach, but no, I cannot cook. So I'm keeping it entertaining because they're like, oh, Beachbody coaches, I'm sure they eat perfect all the time and they're good at everything. No, like I'm showing them something that's entertaining them, making them feel like, oh, I can be a Beachbody coach too. And then also sharing your story. And people aren't buying products, they're buying you. They want to do what you're doing. And if you think about like the movie Mean Girls, Regina George wore camo pants and flip-flops. So now the other girls want camo pants and flip-flops too. Like they don't really just want the 21-day fix. They want to do something that you're doing. So whenever you post, you want to pick one person that's on your radar, and you want to write a post that if that person read, they would feel like, oh my God, that's exactly how I'm feeling right now. They were just like me. So sometimes providing value doesn't necessarily mean that we have to be the knowledgeable ones, and we should try to provide ways for our friends to feel like they're making our lives better too. And we want to share the products that we love, and we assume that they want to share products that they love as well. So I use Groupon. I don't ever really buy anything on there, but I enjoy scrolling and looking at the deals. And my Groupon email popped up in my inbox, and I looked at it and it was like, oh, damn it, it's laser hair removal again. So they like can see, oh my gosh, what's popping up in my Groupon? It was literally right after I received the email, so it was pertaining to the same point in time that maybe somebody else received that email. So no one commented on this one, but I can tell, like, if this many people liked it, they obviously know that Groupon is kind of creepy and it knows something that you might need, and it can relate to them. And another thing I did was with shoes. I was like, which shoes should I buy? And so it got them interactive, and they wanted to say like, oh, I got shoes from this place or whatever. So give them a reason to comment. So seriously, every time you copy and paste, God is not going to kill a kitten. But Facebook is pitching this algorithm as easier to connect with family and friends. But what we see a lot is that people are copying and pasting someone else's post word for word. And Facebook sees this as low quality or as a hoax. And if you just disregard the algorithm for a second, nobody wants to see the same post 30 times in a row. And like, you don't want to see that 30 times in a row. After you see it a couple of times, your brain actually starts ignoring it and associates ignoring that post with the person posting it. So even worse, people have told Facebook that they do not like duplicate posts. So if people start to get sick of the same post, they often hide it, which can lead you into Facebook probation if too many of your posts are hidden. But I'll touch on this more in a second. And then don't copy and paste too many private messages at the same time. So nerd alert, whenever Google indexes the web, it looks to see if a page is just a copy of another page. And if so, Google will either not index it at all, or it will rate it low quality. So Facebook is starting to implement this similar idea with posts in order to not irritate its users with duplicate posts and content. And so if you copy and paste, it's detected in your private messages. So if you're copying and pasting the same message, Facebook detects that, and then they can get you thrown into Facebook jail. So what I talked about the other day, and I gave an example to in our Push 90-day group, is if Lisa happens to send out 10 private messages, and then Raquel and Annie also send 10 private messages, but it's in the same hour using the exact same script, Facebook doesn't just see that as one person posting 10 messages. They see it as 30 of the same message going out at the same time. So a red flag comes up, because all of those like hoax companies are having a whole bunch of people work for them and send out the same messages all at the same time. Like, that's how come they last so long, because every one of them isn't getting caught all at the same time. So they can easily find who you copied from. And even if your posts are great, like if you're all using the same script, Facebook notices. And so here is what you should do. You should get inspired by a post and use it as an idea or a template. So I saw like Christina and Raquel and a few other people posting about this Arctic Zero ice cream. And so I didn't post word for word what they posted about it. I decided that I'd start off in like a little series of posts. The first one, I just posted the picture of me holding the ice cream, saying like, so excited for this. And then afterwards, I posted my verdict on it. So it really lasted and people were following, because I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna post this verdict afterwards, let you know what I think. So it kept the conversation going and it made people check back on my page. And so I wasn't like selling the ice cream or anything. I was just giving my input on something that was healthy. And I got a lot of comments on it. Like, there were probably like 15 series of comments, and within them there were even more. Like, we kept talking about it and like other ice creams that they were doing. So they viewed me as someone who is knowledgeable about health food, even though I'm not that knowledgeable about health food. It just appeared that way and it made them want to engage with me. And so another idea is just, like I said, write it in your own words and in your own context. Like mine was just giving my evaluation of the ice cream. But if you don't really know what to say or aren't good at coming up with your own words, try and rearrange some of the sentences or use a thesaurus and pick out a different word and add emojis, because emojis confuse Facebook. And don't use the same ones that the person before you used either, like put them, sprinkle them around your posts, or use a certain hashtag that pertains to only you, just to make it a little bit different. So you want to make sure that the post is changed about 15 to 20%. Kind of like whenever you write a book report for school and they're like, okay, send this in and let's check and see if you plagiarized it. It's pretty much the same concept. And then this one is probably one you'll want to hear about, avoiding the trigger words when you're posting. So like, comment, share, message me for info, all of those come up as being ads. And also whenever you pair too many product terms with results and then attach links, those also get triggered as ads. And Facebook feels like whenever it sees those things, it's losing money because it considers you a non-paid ad, because our personal profiles, like our pages, reach 800% more than a business page, and that is a whole lot. But if you have a business page right now, don't get rid of it. It's still good. You can use that to calculate all your statistics, how many people are viewing this video, things that you can't see on your personal page. So in general, Facebook wants to profit, and they're decreasing the reach of business pages in order to encourage them to pay to play or pay for ads. So what might have worked a month ago, 6 months ago, 18 months ago has changed. So if you want to share a personal link on your business page, or if you want to do it on your personal page, you can go to Pinterest and you can write a blog, connect it there, so that it doesn't see a link going straight to your business. It sees a link going to something you pinned on Pinterest. So sometimes if you keep saying, go to this link, it thinks you want people to buy something, which we do, but you kind of have to take the long route and find ways to connect it to different things where you're not using the same link over and over. So here's a list of words that you can try and set, and there's a whole bunch more, but I wanted you to come up with some of your own, because I'm sure we'll all want to be using, if I gave you a list, that's all we would use. So I want you to go in and look for some of your own, but instead of saying comment below, say something like drop or leave, because those are words that people use so much that they're not going to count them as trigger words. And you could also say list something below that you struggle with, or drop a food emoji if you struggle with nutrition, so that you're not saying do this below. You're not giving them something that they have to do. You're not begging them to comment. Just change up the words to something that's so generic that Facebook couldn't flag it. Message me for info. A lot of people are doing that now because we have It Works and pretty much everything else that people are selling. So hit me up. How can I help? I want to help you out. Reach out to me, because the word help, the word reach out, those are everyday words that people aren't message me for info. It's counted all of those words and grouped them together and said, this is something that somebody is selling. And then results as well, say later you'll feel more confident, instead of you're going to see results. Be specific on you will maybe lose 3 inches, or you will do this. Make it so specific that it seems like you're having a conversation with somebody instead of trying to sell them something. So definitely feel free to come up with some of your own too. So rule number 4, and the number 1 killer of Facebook affinity, is getting hidden. So Facebook, if you're using it to help your friends and family or to make new friends, you are set up to succeed. But anything outside of that, you're set up to lose. So you don't want to be misleading or negative or political. Don't be whiny. Don't use your personal page to vent. It should be your baby. Your personal page, you want to keep it safe. You want to use it to make people feel safe and make people feel welcome to come to your page. And also, you don't want to be that friend that overshares, because we all know the person that can't stop talking in the conversation. You're like, okay, I want to go now, but they're just so in your face. If you actually post 2 posts or 3 posts or however many within the same hour, Facebook receives so many posts, and with this algorithm, they have to choose which one they think is most interesting and most important. They're not reading all of them like one by one saying, oh, I'm going to show this person's post. So if you post 2 in an hour, then they're only going to show one of your posts. They're not going to choose both of them. So one of them may not be shared at all, and they may pick the one that wasn't as good. And they have a whole bunch to choose from per day. Like if you think about how many people would be posting at the same time, you definitely want to keep it to 5 per day. So rule number 5, stay out of Facebook jail. But if your account does get flagged and needs to be reviewed, they're going to ask for your ID. And this is something new to me that I didn't know about. If your name does not match your ID, the name that's on your profile match with your ID, then you are not getting that profile back. I know that a lot of people are using like their first and middle names, but if you do not use like your first and last name, the name that's on your ID, you're not getting it back, because they see it as every single person should only have one page. Or I mean, one personal profile, not a business page, one personal profile. So I know people have profiles for fun and then profiles for job searches, but Facebook sees it as no, if you were a good person and you'd only need one page. Everything that you need is clean, it's making people feel safe, it's making people interested. You don't need more than one. So this is my friend Drew. He offends a lot of people sometimes. And he has 2 different pages, one DROO Goodman, and then his real name is actually William Andrew Goodman. So here's a little scenario. He has both of these accounts, one for business and one for just personal fun, and nothing has happened to him. Well, if you think about it, people are texting and driving all the time, and no, something's not happening to everybody, but it's just a bad idea. Like something will happen eventually. It's just bad. Don't do it. Like go ahead and change your profile name to your first and last name. And then, yeah, it's just a bad idea. And then I don't know too much about the music on your videos. But just from listening to y'all talk, I know that that's something that's been getting you blocked or thrown in jail. I don't post a lot of videos. I need to. But so just good rule of thumb is not to add the music. And then also sending too many friend requests or too many messages, it sees you as a spammer. Excuse me, because you want to be friends with these people. They assume that you know them or that you have a connection with them. And so normal people don't copy and paste like 20 messages to their family and friends. They would add them to like Bonnie's family reunion group and just send out one to the whole family. They wouldn't be like copy and paste, here you go, here you go, here you go. So that's why we need to revise our scripts a little bit, put them in our own words, maybe space out how you send them throughout the day. Like, if you're gonna send 10 today, send 5 this morning, and then change up your script and send 5 more later on that night, so that you don't look like you're just sending 20 messages at random to people. So this one is talking about our rules are done. Now we're just talking about how you can get seen, what the lifespan is of your post and everything. So 1/2 of all of your engagement on a post happens the first 90 minutes, and then 75% within the first 5 hours, and then your post is dead by hour 8. And so the main thing here is I think a good learning point is we need to stop being so efficient that we end up hurting the social part of social media. I think that I do a good job of making my posts last a long time. And it wasn't really until I started looking into all of this algorithm stuff, but I hate having an email inbox that has like, you have 3 messages. I want those messages like checked and gone. I want it to say 0 all the time. That's just the kind of person I am. And I feel like I used to bring that to Facebook with me. Like, oh, I had a notification. Let me respond really quickly to them. Well, really, you should let it sit a little bit. So it's called stoking the coals, and you keep it alive by breathing on it. So you might go in, send a little message to somebody, let the posts fill up a bit, then go back so that like you posted 2 hours after the post, then you posted 4 hours after the post. And so you keep going on so it keeps popping up to the top of the news feed so it can last longer than the 8 hours. And I know that one's going to be really hard because I have a feeling that a lot of us are that same way and want to see that clear inbox. But just keep going back to your posts and don't try to end the conversation with somebody. Try and keep it going. So on the left, you see my little Ryan Gosling post. One, because Ryan Gosling like is eye-catching, so people were going to look at it. I mean, he's Ryan Gosling. And then also I was letting them know how many inches I've lost. And they know what I've been doing with Beachbody, but it also opened up the conversation for them to give input because people like to give input. So I was like, so where do I find a new bra? My bra doesn't fit anymore. Like I lost 2 inches and I can't find this anywhere. So many people were like, go to this store, go to that store. And instead of just saying, okay, thanks, I actually said, oh yeah, well, what is this? Or like I kept talking to them about it so that it would last. I think this post lasted for like 2 days instead of the 8 hours. And then also on the right side, and I just posted this yesterday, but it's lasted a while too. If you want to keep the conversation going and you want the post to come up, sorry, check into places, say what you're doing there, because Facebook sees that as entertaining and interesting. So I checked in at Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel's not that exciting. Facebook seems to think so because I checked in somewhere, I'm out of my house, I'm doing something. So how can you be chosen to? Trending topics, and this is a big one because football season is coming up, and I didn't know this either, that if a topic is trending, they bring up your post to the top if you're talking about that trending item so that people can see it first when it's relevant. So you, as long as it's relevant, your post will be included if you post like keywords from that in it. So you can kind of ride their 5 minutes of fame. So examples of those posts are during a football game, while you're watching Game of Thrones, or during a national holiday. So the one on the left was during the 4th of July, and a lot of people were posting about 4th of July, so I checked in. I did it was a video, so it had everything going for it, and I kept the conversation going on it, but I rode that 4th of July train for like 3 days. Like that, people are still somehow commenting on that post. So, and then the other one, I'm riding this Pokemon train right now. And so I know not everybody's into Pokemon, but it is bringing me to the top of the newsfeed. I've posted like once about it every day for the past week, and those seem to be getting the most comments. And even though it's not about Beachbody, it's at least making me relevant to some people who I wasn't relevant to before. So I seem interesting to them because I have that common connection. So I'm showing up at the top of their news feeds, I'm assuming. And so also live videos in the news feed come up, I wrote this down, how many? 3 times longer. They're viewed 3 times longer than previously recorded and uploaded video because Facebook wants to compete with Snapchat. I mean, 3 times longer is so much more. So if a post literally lasts 8 hours, your post could last 24. So just by doing a live recording. And then also post a story that will keep people on your post longer because Facebook documents how long people click on your post. So if you write a personal anecdote about yourself and they have to click on it, they're reading it. You have a picture on there that makes them think, that makes them look at your picture like, oh, like their haircut is so cute or whatever, or like something, or look at their child, something that will keep them on your post for a long amount of time because they see it as something newsworthy. And the faster they click off your post, the faster your post becomes irrelevant. So you really don't want to be misleading to anyone. This is really big in how they're getting rid of clickbait. Like if people just, they click on it, they're like, oh, this is awful. Like that misdirected me. They're going to note that and they're not going to show those kind of posts from you as much. And then the biggest one is interacting. And so I saved this for last because when you interact with your friends, you become more relevant in their news feeds. And it should be like the people that are closest to you should be the ones that see your posts first. So that's why interaction is so important. Facebook has to believe that you are actually close to these people that you're talking to. And if they don't see you as a close friend, or at least somebody follow-worthy for that person, then Facebook will wean you out of their newsfeed if you don't keep up a connection with that person. And so I know I'm definitely guilty of following up with people I've messaged until they like buy my product instead of going on and messaging new people each time. But it's really important that we do that, and we need new recruits because we need to show up and be relevant in their newsfeed. So if we keep interacting with the same people, we're going to be relevant to those people over and over. But we need to be interacting with a large group of people so that we show up even more. So thank you for listening to all of the nerdy stats, and let me know if you have any questions.
Yeah, so that was great, Bonnie. A ton of information. I know newbies, it might be a little overwhelming because when I was new, I didn't even realize like there was an algorithm to Facebook. I just assumed if I posted, all my friends were seeing it, no big deal. But in actuality, it's like only 12% of your friends are seeing what you post, which is probably why, again, the algorithms are always changing. Facebook's always changing. This is super helpful, Bonnie. And I think the main takeaway, at least for me, is that we're just, we're in the relationship business. Yes, we're helping people and we're helping them get healthy and fit. But at the end of the day, we have to make those connections with people, right? We have to share our story, and so that people get to know who we are as a person. Because like Bonnie said perfectly, they don't buy the product. Like they could go on to Beachbody website and buy the 21-day fix. They buy into you first, and they want to see your journey. They want to see the ups and the downs and the struggles and what you're eating and your progress. And, and so they really buy into what you're doing first. And I think that is so key, is that we could just continue to share our story. But I think that's what, what I love about us as coaches is that we're not trying to be salesy, right? Salesy, icky. That was one of the things that turned me off. Is like, oh, I just never want to be like pushing a product where I feel like I'm having to sell, right? Like clearly we do, we make commission, but I truly do feel like we share our story and we invite others to come on this journey with us. So thank you, Bonnie. I still feel like my mind's kind of blown because Facebook is kind of over my head. I just feel like, but it's good information. But I definitely think interacting with people and, there's just so many things. I just feel like my mind is blown, but thank you so much, Bonnie.
It's hard to cram that into 30 minutes. And I tried, that's why I was reading a lot of it. Cause it's just the guy that did it, like I said, had like an hour to an hour and a half a day for 5 days. And so I tried to cram all that into a 30-minute phone call.
No, super helpful. Mm-hmm.
I think it was good, and your slides were super helpful. So, and this is recorded. So if you feel like the first kind of go round was a blur, just go back and watch it again and hit the things that you feel like are important to you in your business, because I thought it was great. You don't want to give too much information because it's just Facebook is overwhelming. Social media is overwhelming. Just like Raquel said, remember your priority is to get your personal story, share your personal self. The more genuine that you are through your posts, the better they're going to do. And that's always the case, but even more so now, which is kind of a benefit to us in our business, because we're so, it's about sharing your story, and it's about sharing your journey and helping people, and not so much about like, this is my wrap or this is my whatever. And so it's a lot less product based than other companies. So it's kind of what we're already doing, except for pay attention to the wording, and which I really thought was helpful. But since we're already over on time, and you like nailed it, it was 9:30. Way to go. But remember, we also have this week. So if you need a challenge group that you need to plug into, we have a preseason starting on July 25th. So reminder for that. So if your team needs to plug into it, or you have challengers that need to plug into it, of course, you're always welcome in Raquel and I's group. And then this Tuesday, we have a live event. So it's going to be a Facebook live event. We've done those in the past. Last time we did a live call. This one will be a live event. It's 8:30 on Tuesday. So anybody that you think might be a great potential coach, invite them, and we'll get them plugged in, and then hopefully get them on board Team VIP. So that's this Tuesday in just 2 days. And since live videos are where they're at, I should probably see like everybody doing a live video. You should probably like get off this call and like put your selfie mode on. Hello, live video. Just kidding. And then other than that, look for updates on Team VIP. But I hope everyone has the most amazing Sunday. Does anybody else have questions or comments?
Jessica, when are y'all going to post the live event so that we can join the group and start adding people?
I guess probably like 7:30 on Tuesday. I will post it. I will post it in the morning. I promise. I'll do it first thing.
Okay.
I like to procrastinate. Okay. I'll post it in the morning.
Prego brain.
It's for real. I'm like, I got 13 days left, 11 days left, something like that. And my list keeps growing of what I need to do. I'm like, you, sir, don't come early because I'm not ready.
Can I add something?
Of course.
Oh, you already touched on this, but I just wanted to, because we do have a lot of newbies on here, and I'm like, in the past, like thinking about myself as a newbie, and it's probably like Raquel's head is spinning. Like, I can't even imagine what's happening in their heads right now. Like, I think it's goo in their brains. So I want to reemphasize that you can go back and watch this video, but I think what we should do is to find just 3 things on this video that will help your business, because there's probably about 35 different things at least on this video. In this presentation, it was amazing, Bonnie. Thank you so much. Like, my mind's blown right now. So yeah, pick 3 things. So I'll just tell you what my 3 things are really quick. I'm going to update my private messages that I'm sending so that I'm not so robotic. I'm going to check into places. I think that'll be fun, if I ever get them out of my house. And then I want to do more live videos. So those are my 3 things. Find your 3 things, and I would say share them in the comments, like below this video, just to kind of like, if you need accountability, That's it. That's all I got.
Hey, I actually do have a question for Bonnie. On the music to the video, so I used to put music to my videos a while back, and I sort of got my hand slapped, even though I own some of them. They were trying to say I didn't buy my app or whatever. So, but I also think videos are boring without music. And so I haven't been putting music to my videos lately because I just haven't taken the time to figure it out. So 1, do you know an app that we can use? And 2, my second question is, when I did my ab challenge, I put music in the background instead of attaching music to the video. Like, I just had it playing in the background. Does that also flag them?
Something we were talking about earlier was posting them on YouTube and then sharing straight from YouTube. Is that right, Raquel? Do you remember talking about that at all?
Yes, but I'll tell you this. I just made like a little like happy birthday to my mom video, and I had posted to YouTube, and then I posted the link to YouTube like on her timeline, and it disappeared. And so what I've been hearing about YouTube is that Facebook does not like YouTube. So if you post it, it's like all of a sudden it disappears. And it was like literally my kids like saying happy birthday. I mean, Charlotte was singing. It was like nothing. So I just don't even know if YouTube is where it's at either.
And to be honest, like whenever I'm scrolling through, I don't always click on the video either, since it shows it a lot whenever you're scrolling through. I kind of just watch what they're doing anyway and keep going. So I mean, that's just me personally. Maybe a lot of people don't actually listen to it, but we think it's boring, but the people that are following this may not.
Yeah, that's true. Because I don't always do that either, but I just always feel like people are like, oh, how boring. There's no music to this. I don't know why. I just assume that.
But also what I've started doing, because my kids love to watch this person who cuts lawns on YouTube. Like, we watch people cutting lawns. But his music is really good, but he does non-copyrighted music. You can search iTunes for like non-copyrighted music. So it's just basically like a beat, but they have some really good beats. So I've just been buying the non-copyrighted music, and it's literally just beats. And so if I post a video, I use it with that, and I haven't been flagged. I mean, I better knock on wood, but so far it has never stopped me from posting with music.
And that's on iTunes?
Mm-hmm.
What I
Okay.
do for videos and music is you just have to write an excerpt that says, I do not own the rights to this music. This video is for entertainment purposes only. And if you put that, then it's safe, because I did all my dance videos on YouTube and they've never been taken down because I write that little blurb. So I don't know how that is for Facebook, but you could always try that. So just in the like, do space or something, just say, I do not own the rights to this music. This video is just for entertainment purposes only. Enjoy, kind of thing. And that's helped me anytime I post any videos with music. If you say that, then they can't claim that you're copywriting it because you stated that you're not.
Okay.
And one more thing that I forgot, in one of the posts, it was talking about copying and pasting. And I do want to say that, I mean, 35 is a pretty good minimum amount for me. If I get less than 35, I know that something's wrong. And on the days that I'm lazy and I literally kind of copy and paste, switch a couple words around on y'all's posts, I'll get like 7 likes. So 35, like, I'm like, okay, I made my own content, but really it does show because I was lazy and it showed.
No. We good? Okay, so I'll post a recording underneath this on Team VIP too. Okay? All right, guys, have a great week. I'll see you on Facebook.